And that's why I think it's really important to not follow your passions. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley if you're new. I'm so happy you guys have clicked on this video because this is something really personal and important to me to share, and I just really am excited to open this conversation up and talk a little bit more about this topic. This week on the 22nd of June, I reached my 1-year anniversary of starting Habits of Heigh, which is just crazy to me because I started in the middle of an insane lockdown here in Australia due to, and it was at a pretty interesting spot in my life, and this year has been so impactful to me, and mainly it's been because of starting Habits of Heigh. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I went from a very lost, straight out of high school girl to someone who feels like they're on the exact path that she's meant to be on and is flourishing in this journey of becoming her own boss, and just overall how I got here without following my passion. So honestly, I'm making this video for past 18-year-old Haley who was still in high school and did not know at all what she wanted to do, and felt very lost and pressured to go in certain directions. And I'm making this video for her and anyone who is like me and anyone who needs this. So if you're right now a bit lost in the direction you want to go, I hope this provides a little bit of comfort and you're not alone. And if I could figure out this stuff, then you can too, and I just hope that this is helpful in some way. I really want to talk about passions. I feel like there's this pressure in society to be passionate and follow your passions, and I think I was watching this TED Talk and it really resonated with me. I'll leave it down below. So I think a lot of people and society in general feel like they have to be passionate about something, and most people apparently most people have 7 passions. You're either one of those people who are very passionate about multiple things, you might not even have any passions, or you are the lucky one and you have one direction and you just follow that, and that is your sole purpose in life. But most of us either feel like we have too many passions, which is the category I fall into, and I felt like this overwhelming pressure to pick one. Or you might be in the opposite boat and you just don't have any kind of passions that you really are interested in to follow as a career path. And so a lot of us just don't really know what to do, and this overwhelming pressure society gives us to follow these passions, I don't think is good. I used to always get really confused on how to get from A to B, how to be little old 18-year-old Haley and doing my passions. It felt very overwhelming for me. I had so many passions that I wanted to follow and so many things that I wanted to do, and I just couldn't seem to pick one because they all felt a little bit too much and too big. And so I realized, and through watching videos like TED Talks, watching videos like this, and talking to people, is that sometimes you don't need to follow your passions. Instead of following your passions, it's important to follow your curiosities, because sometimes passions feel very overwhelming to get to. Following your current curiosities, whatever that might be, often leads you into the direction you're meant to be. It's sometimes hard to pick which direction you need to go in to get to that ultimate passion, or if you don't have one, to just know where to go. So it's really, I think, essential to, instead of focus on following your passions and all that, it's really important to just follow your current curiosities, whether that's, roller skating or making clay or knitting or TikTok dancing. Honestly, it could be anything, whether that's gaming. I'm just saying, whatever it is, even if it's not your overall passion, or it's not something you ever thought would be your overall passion, following that curiosity will often lead you in the right path. It's something a lot less pressure filled, so you can have more fun with it and experiment, and you don't feel like you need to be successful from following this path. You know, often when people are pursuing their passions, they feel like they need to be successful. And so if you're just following your curiosities, there's a lack of pressure to become successful from it, which often means you have more freedom and you feel more safe to explore and, you know, start things and do things and just have fun with it, which often leads into a more passionate result. When I was 18, I really had no idea which kind of career path I wanted to go down. I had several like really big passions, and I felt a little bit overwhelmed because they were so big and I was so passionate about them that I couldn't really decide, and I felt like a lack of direction about which, like, how to go about it. It felt so overwhelming to like start that path in that career. So when COVID hit and all of my kind of plans stopped, I really debated going to uni. I really debated kind of going down like a more secure pathway, but I just decided to follow my current curiosities, and that was skincare. And the thing that I really want to point out was that I was passionate and I was curious and loving skincare because I had dealt with acne for years. And I was finally coming to the point where my skin was cleared, and I was really loving the whole experience of experimenting with different products. And this curiosity was stemmed from a really, really dark place. I feel like sometimes the hardest things you go through in life, not that having bad skin was the hardest thing I've gone through, but it was something that really, really impacted me and made me really lack self-love and self-confidence. It was a hard time to go through during high school and stuff, so I never felt like it was a positive experience. But what I know now is that going through that led me to be curious about skincare, curious about that direction, and so I started Habits of Heigh. I started it because I was trying all these new skincare products because my skin had cleared up, and I was really like excited and wanted to share my journey with other people. And I wouldn't have said that skincare was really a passion of mine until then, until I started building a community and sharing more about it and developing this, like, for me it was just a release, an emotional and creative release during a hard like COVID period. And it ended up evolving into a career path that I had no idea I was gonna go down. And it is just so crazy to me that I would have never even ever imagined that that would have been the direction I would go in after high school. I would have never imagined that I wouldn't be directly following my passions. Instead, I was following my curiosities, and they evolved into passions and are actually even further evolving into the bigger passions that I had when I was in high school and stuff. It's an amazing journey that we all go on, and I think if we let go of the pressure of having to follow our passions and just follow our current curiosities, it really will evolve the way it's meant to. And I truly believe that if we take away the pressure and just enjoy the process, you'll be surprised. I often think about those bigger passions that I have, and instead of stressed that I'm not close to them quite yet, I have a lot more faith that if I just continue following the curiosities, my current curiosities, they will lead me to that passion and that dream. And I think it's just so important to let go of the fear and the stress around getting there and enjoy the process. It's funny because if I hadn't struggled with acne, I wouldn't be curious about skincare. And if I wasn't curious about skincare, I wouldn't have started Habits of Heigh, which is my biggest passion at the moment. And sometimes during the hard times, you're unable to see the silver lining until you're out of them. And now I look back and really am grateful for those times because they evolved into one of my biggest passions. Sorry guys, I just had to move back a little bit because the sun is really harsh right now. It's peeking through the rain clouds. I'm sorry if that was a little bit, you know, deep and heavy, but I really just wanted to, it's been weighing on my heart, not in a negative way, just as in like, I felt like I really needed to get that out because 18-year-old me was hella stressed about what I was gonna do. I kind of came from like a very academic high school and there weren't many people who weren't going to uni, and I really debated going, especially when COVID hit and everything, because it felt like the secure option. And I'm so happy I didn't, but I really know how you feel if you're in that situation right now of feeling lost. And sometimes going to uni is following the current curiosities, following that and going to do something that you are curious about because you want to see if it'll work out is important, because you'll get the right answer, whether it is the right way or if it isn't. And trying something and not going through with it is just as important as trying something and loving it, you know, and following through with it. I really think that is part of the journey, is trying. So for anyone who is in that boat right now, definitely reach out if you have any further questions. I really encourage you not to stress about your overall picture, the passion, and follow your current curiosities. That is my message for today. I'm sorry if it got really deep. I hope it made sense. Growth is in your own time, and everyone's growth is individual, and don't ever feel like you're behind or you're ahead or, you know, you're stuck or whatever it is. Just know that the path that you're on is individual to you, and you don't know what everyone else has gone through. So try to put those blinkers on when it comes to comparison and just really focus on the now and the position you're in right now, and just know that because other people are successful, it doesn't mean you can't be, but you also don't need to be. Don't strive for something that you don't really want just because other people are doing it. So that being said, I do really want to talk more about my journey in starting this account, starting this business, small business, self-employment journey as a almost 21-year-old. So if you actually want to hear more about how I actually got started and all of that stuff, definitely let me know. I really, sometimes I was saying this on my Instagram stories, but I often see people who are successful and they talk about their journey, and I often wish I was along for the ride, because it's sometimes hard to relate to people who are really successful when you are yourself just at the beginning or in the middle. And that's kind of what I want to share. I want to share the journey because it is about the journey, and I am enjoying every step of it, and I want to share it with you guys because yes, being successful is the ultimate goal, but I think the journey is way more important than standing up and going, I'm successful, you know? So I hope you guys want to hear more about it. If you do, definitely let me know or private message me on Instagram. But yeah, I just think it's really important to support other women. So I support you. And if you ever need a cheerleader, I'm here for you. And I'm just so grateful for everyone who is there for me. And yeah, I'm sorry if this is an out of the norm video, but I just felt like it was weighing on my heart. I hope it made sense, and I love you all. You can follow me on Instagram, Habits of Hayleigh. Like this video if you did like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.